How is it going? Oh. Anybody out there, can you hear me? James White out. Blake, thanks for the like. Nate Martin, what's going on, man? Yeah? Awesome. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. I'm just making sure that up on YouTube and it doesn't seem to be so. A little loud, Thomas says. I can turn down a little bit if we're loud. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate it. How's everybody doing this morning? Everybody ready for week 3? Yeah, James White, his wife is having their baby. We had this rumor last week, and he ended up playing, and then kind of out of the blue this week, we get told that he's not going to play. So, uh-oh. Gotta check out this. Antonio Brown releases tirade on Twitter. Sweet. We'll get a little live action, AB action on the Twitter. Antonio Brown. Let's search this up. Oh, Antonio Brown says he's retiring. Come on, give me his account. Did he shut his account off? Yeah, it says that this said that he was retiring, but there was a it said that he released a tirade though. Oh man. Let's see. Said that he went off on the Steelers and if anybody has the link, if anybody knows anywhere where I can read this stuff, I want to read these tweets. Can't find them. Yeah, well, I mean, who knows if he was going to get a chance to play again anyway. Well, you can't just go do whatever you want and expect them not to take their money back. Like, if you can't be on the field because you're causing trouble, then you should lose your guaranteed money. Your guaranteed money should be guaranteed if you play. Like, you should have to guarantee that I'm going to stay out of trouble. And if you can't do that, then you should lose your guaranteed money. He probably went on a tirade because he got an offer from the Dolphins. All right, so there's 2 games in particular that I wanted to mention Um, Green Bay game and the Green Bay game and the Kansas City game are both supposed to have heavy rain, so you DFS players, keep an eye on that. Last night when I looked, I haven't looked at the weather. I was going to wait till a little bit closer to 11 o'clock and see what the radar looks like. We'll look at that together a little bit, but it might be beneficial to fade that Kansas City Baltimore game, because if it turns messy and the points don't get put up and it turns into a running game, then all the people that are on that game are going to get hurt. So it's something to think about. You don't have to do it. Webstock over on YouTube says I need 2 of 3 Miles Sanders, Cortland Sutton, or DJ Moore. DJ Moore's in no matter what. That game's high paced. They might have 10% more plays in that game than any other game on the slate. So DJ Moore's in for me. Yeah, that's tough. Sanders is getting 10 carries a game, but he's averaging 2.5 yards per carry. But he's got that big play ability. He's going to hit one eventually, but I don't know if it's this week. I would probably go with Sanders just because I know he's going to get the 10 carries. And that rain with Flacco against a good Green Bay defense kind of would worry me there. Anthony, good morning, buddy. I was up way too late last night. If you have any other questions, make sure you drop them in the chat. I'm gonna answer those as we go. I'll go till about 11:05, 11:10 here before I move over to the VIP. Miles Sanders also returns kicks. Yeah, I think I go with the guaranteed touches. And he's got a good upside too if he can actually get going. He's definitely getting the touches. Rob, good morning. So right now the only notable inactive I know of for the early games is James White. I know Mark Andrews is questionable. I heard he's 50-50. And when I say I heard, it's like Twitter. And then Marquise Brown was still up in the air in that game last I heard, but most likely going to play. Marlon Mack, game time decision for the Colts, as well as T.Y. Hilton. Pick one, Stafford, Wentz, Josh Allen. If you need upside, I would go with Josh Allen. If you need floor, I would go with Wentz. But it's between Wentz and Josh Allen for me. But I love Josh Allen's upside. Mark Andrews or Philip Dorsett. Mark Andrews if he's active. But we've got to check that weather as we get closer to the game. Rashad Penny is trending towards out. That upgrades Carson. Darnold, Newton, Geis, Njoku, Hill, White, Singletary. Yeah. Yeah, do we have official news on Singletary yet? I know that he was trending towards out. I know he's trending towards. He is out. Okay, so I'll add him to the list here in just a second. Would you start Mixon over Crowder? I already have egg on my face, as you would say, from starting Mixon over Shark. I can't start Mixon right now. I cannot start Mixon right now against Buffalo. It's been rough, man. He's been getting hit 2 yards in the backfield every play. It's rough, and I love Mixon. I love the talent. Breda, Mostert, Monty, and Sanders pick 2. Man, it's tough with those 49ers guys. I'm picking one of them and Monty for sure. Monty's in that for sure. The rest of the guys split a lot of the carries. But YouTube, thanks for the question. Andrew, if you ask your question here, I can answer it. I just couldn't look at the sheet that you messaged me. What was I doing? Oh, I need to add Devin Singletary to our inactives list. Thank you guys for updating me on that one. I hadn't really looked into it. I wasn't really all over that game. Joe, I'll be buying. I need running backs in that league, so right now I'm starting either Latavius Murray or Jordan Howard, so it's not a good situation, but I got some wide receivers if you need one. Yeah, we need some news over there in Philly on yes, I think I play Nelson Aguilar over Allison and Goodwin. Is especially if Alshon Jeffries is out. But I don't think it matters. I think he's still going to get looks. And I don't really trust that Jeffries going to be on the field for a ton of plays. Who sits half PPR? Carry-on, Montgomery, Brown, or Kirk? I think it would be between Brown and Kirk. Kirk's just getting so many targets right now because they run so many damn plays. I think it would be Kirk or Brown. I guess the argument can be made for both of those guys over Carry-on the way Detroit's used them so far. It's a tough one. Again, Monty's in for me. Bears versus Washington. It's in Washington, but that Bears defense should play well anywhere. So I like Montgomery for another big workload like week 2. Pick 2, Cohen, Lindsey, Hyde, Duke. Cohen for sure. Then like right now what I think you have to do with Hyde and Duke is decide, are they going to be winning or are they going to be losing? If they're winning, you play Hyde. If they're losing, you play Duke. Man, I probably go with Lindsey just because he has a chance to catch some passes and get some rushes. But Green Bay is a tough defense, so that's tough. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Anthony. The John Brown Kirk. I just think there's a lot of touchdown upside in that Carolina Arizona game also. And Arizona is finding themselves in the red zone, just not scoring. Being Dried Ocean over on YouTube asks Mark Andrews or Vance McDonald. I'm going Mark Andrews. We are going to check on the weather, but I think he's kind of he's safer from the weather than somebody like Hollywood Brown. But they're both good options, so I don't think that you're going to be. I don't think that position's going to lose it for you if you do go away from Mark Andrews because of the weather. But right now, it looks like they're going to have big downpours. Need flex help. T.Y. Hilton, John Brown, or Demarcus Robinson. T.Y. is a game time decision, so we got to wait on him. Obviously, that makes it a little bit easier if he doesn't play. If he is in the game, then T.Y. Hilton is my guy. If not, John Brown is my guy. I'm not buying into the Robinson narrative, especially in another game that's supposed to have a bunch of rain, over those two guys if they're on the field. Yeah, I'm just wondering, I don't know about you guys, here in Indiana, the weather changes every half hour, so no, Mark, and that's true. Mark's 50-50, so we already know that he's not on the field, and they have no problem putting Hayden Hurst out there to block. So they might sit him. We might find out they sit him just because of the conditions. Since he's not 100%, you know they're playing. They're looking like a team right now that's playing for more than this one game with Kansas City. So keeping him healthy would be big for them. Trying to look for any other news we might have. It looks like the Jaguars are not going to trade Jalen Ramsey. Let's see how bad that blows up. Once again, if you're just tuning in, AB says he's done, calls out Kraft, calls out Big Ben. He tweets, will not be playing in the NFL anymore. These owners can cancel deals, do whatever they want at any time. We will see if the NFLPA holds them accountable. Sad they can just void guarantees anytime. Going on 40 mil in 2 months. We'll see if they pay up. Do you not realize that you can't just go out and do whatever you want and not have any repercussions to it? You're not playing. You weren't going to play. The NFL was going to put you on the exempt list. I wouldn't pay you either. Oh, then he calls out Kraft for getting caught with the prostitutes. Oh, and then he calls out Big Ben for the sexual assault investigation back in 2010. AB is on one for sure. Once again, James White is out for his kid. I mean, I don't think he's necessarily wrong. It's cool for Kraft to go to a whorehouse and some other guys, but he talks too much. And we're talking about just last night, there were rumors that teams were interested in him, so he just needs to keep his mouth shut and he'll be back on the field. I don't think he's done. Let's see, do we have any more news? Are we still talking about Antonio Brown? Probably shouldn't even have brought him up. People get angry. Nothing else new out yet. Oh, Bridgewater did get the starting job, and they're going to sprinkle in some Taysom Hill. I do not like Harris in DFS at all. I wouldn't play him. I don't even know if he's active. I like Rex Burkhead more, but he didn't. I mean, James White didn't get enough carries to make Harris relevant just because he's sitting, in my opinion. Jameis Winston versus New York or Wentz versus the Lions. Yo-yo, that is a perfect, safe play versus upside. I think you get it with both. Wentz is without some options, obviously, with Deshaun Jackson out and Jeffrey probably out. I'm probably going with Wentz. But if Winston's going to break out, it's going to be this week, I would hope. The Giants are terrible. No, the NFL just doesn't pull players. Michelle's going to be the grinded out guy. That's his role. I mean, we're talking about a guy that hasn't even been active the first 2 weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if, Bolden was active and not Harris. Bolden pops up randomly every year, it seems. Yes, very true. And there's just, this week, there's no reason to go real low. The only way I would go real low at running back is if, one, Miles Sanders at 3,900, and then if Darwin Thompson starts for KC. No, I mean, he might get a little bit of work, but it's not going to, it's not going to win you. It's likely not going to win you DFS money. We don't even know how they'll use them with wide out. There's not enough information there for me to make it a... I mean, if you want to throw them in a lineup in GPP, then, really you can put anybody in there, and if they hit, they hit. But I wouldn't put my money on him getting a bunch of work. If you're over on YouTube and you're new to the channel, please do me one favor and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell afterwards so you get notified anytime we go live. We go live at least 2 times a week, Wednesday night at 9:30 and Sunday mornings from 10 to 11. Olsen or Vance? Arizona has been just absolutely putrid against the tight ends. So I like both options. I don't think you're bad with either one. Man, I don't know. That's simply not true. Yeldon is worth rostering in every league that's deep, especially Dynasty. He's one injury away from getting all the work. Yeldon's probably going to have the Devin Singletary role. Yeah, I mean, Gore's going to dominate the touches, but Yeldon's probably going to slide right in and catch passes. Oh, I got what you mean then, Anthony. Yeah, I mean, Yeldon in redrafts probably not, but once the Devin Singletary news came out, I mean, Frank Gore is old. He could literally die at any moment, or get hurt, not die. But, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming Joe's talking about a Dynasty League, though. Probably the same one that we're in together. Jeffrey, I appreciate that very much. Jeffrey says, thanks for the advice, but mostly for making us a place for us all to communicate. Man, it's fun. I love it. It's, it's definitely a passion of mine. What news do we got? Oh, just ESPN PPR rankings that nobody looks at. My goal and my passion is to have that community for everybody to learn and get better at fantasy, whether it's, redraft, dynasty, DFS, whatever. So if you're on Twitter or Twitch, get on over to Facebook and join the Roto Heat communities. A lot of great information. You can go to rotoheat.com/Discord and get into our Discord chat. We have a lot of great talk going on in there. So yeah, Jeffrey, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you appreciate the community, and I hope we can continue to help you in any way. Gore's a Hall of Famer. He's been around for too long, and he's been too consistent not to be. I was happy last night with the way my Notre Dame football team played against Georgia. Obviously, too many penalties, but man, they put up a good fight. Could have been they were 15-point dogs, so it could have been a lot worse. All right, guys, we have about 25 minutes. This is... I should get paid for this, for one. It is a cotton candy bang. Joshua, I'm not a big fan of those guys if I have other options. If we're talking DFS, I'm fading them in DFS. I like Watkins and Kelsey more in DFS. I would look at Darwin Thompson if McCoy ends up being out. But yeah, I mean, the Hardman Robinson bit, downpouring, it all adds up to bad for me. I want to see more before I buy in. Mostert or Thompson? I'm going Mostert unless McCoy is ruled out, which if it's messy, then they could do that with the injury to D. Williams already. But Mostert until we get more word on Thompson and how involved he'll be. Rex Burkhead or P. Lindsay from Sam over on YouTube. I honestly probably go Burkhead. They've got a high implied total for that team, and we've got AB and James White out. And then we've got Lindsay splitting with Royce. Neither catch the ball a lot. Playing against Green Bay, good defense in Green Bay. I probably go Burkhead. Diggs or Gordon? Right now, I'm going with Gordon until the Vikings throw the ball more, but they're probably not going to have to at home. This might be a game where Cousins throws the ball 10 times again. Playing at home versus Oakland, I just don't see a game script where they throw a lot. Thank you, Josh, for that question. Drop in Science, Xbox, half PPR, Flex, Carlos Hyde, John Ross, Mike Williams, and my chat moved, so I lost it, so I'm going back. Mike Williams or LaShawn McCoy. Half point PPR. I like Williams' matchup today. I would probably throw him in there. Man, then it gets tough. I probably go John Ross. I probably go with the upside. I think that LaShawn McCoy and Carlos Hyde probably have a 6 to 8 point floor, but I don't know that they've got the upside that I'd want in my lineup. Hold up there says Marlon Mack, Peyton Barber, Miles Sanders, or LaShawn McCoy. Pick one, maybe one for flex. Thanks. Marlon Mack, if he's active, is for sure. We're definitely targeting Atlanta with running backs whenever we can. After that, we obviously need more news on McCoy, but it might be him if he's good to go, even though I don't love that matchup. Hello, Varun. Mostert or Mack? It's Mack for sure for me if he's in. Jared Cook or Jason Witten, PPR. I'm going with the high implied total for the Cowboys in that matchup, and Dak's playing out of his mind right now, so I probably go Jason Witten, especially until we see how Bridgewater does. Metcalf or Mixon? Metcalf for me. I don't love the matchup, but Mixon right now, there's no room for him. Thanks, Dropping Science. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We drop videos throughout the week. Working on some new little series that we'll drop every week. So definitely appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. I'm gonna try to start releasing some DFS stuff throughout the week too. CJ says Woods, Sammy Watkins, Gordon, pick 2 for standard. I love Sammy Watkins this week. Everybody's, well, shit, I keep forgetting about that rain. I might go Woods and Gordon just because of that torrential downpour in Kansas City and that field being a mess. This could be a week of the running back in that game. So if you're playing it safe, I probably go Gordon Woods. Sammy does have upsides if everything. Joseph, how you doing, bro? Dude, that rain is supposed to go throughout most of the game. It's gonna be a mess. I'm playing Ridley no matter what, even if Jeffrey sits over Aguilar. I'm playing Ridley. I think a lot of people are sleeping on that game too, the Detroit-Atlanta game. Sorry, Detroit-Philly, not Atlanta. Detroit-Philly. I know I was confused there for a second. I think people are sleeping on that game. Philly's secondary is... I'm all confused. Because then I start talking about somebody else. Where the hell is Atlanta at? Why am I losing my mind? Oh, Colts. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Desir, has he been announced in or out yet? Because if he's out, that Colts secondary gets really, really soft. But I'm going Ridley no matter what. Pick 2, Brandon Cooks, Tyler Boyd, or Josh Gordon. I'm probably Cooks and Boyd. See, I'm playing Marlon Mack there. I'm not playing Devonta Freeman right now. Until Devonta Freeman is showing that he can do anything, I mean, this could be the week that he breaks out, but I'm not putting my money on it. I've never been a big Freeman fan, so you might want to ask some other people, but Atlanta is bad against the running back. They give up a lot of points to the running back. They have for years. I'm playing Marlon Mack if he's active. If Marlon Mack's active, I'm adding him to a lot of my DFS lineups. John Ross or Nelson Aguilar. Flex, non-PPR. If it's non-PPR, I'm going John Ross. Just because he could catch 2 balls but get you some points. Freeman or Mixon? I'm going Mixon just talent because of talent, but it's ugly and I don't feel good about it. Flex position, Lindsey, Royce Freeman, or Ingram? I'm going Ingram. In a PPR format, Ingram, I think that dude's going to get 12 targets today, and they're higher value targets than they were a week ago, so we loved him. I loved him a week ago, so I love him even more now that Daniel Jones is the quarterback. I guess that's something that we can talk about is all these new quarterbacks. It's crazy that we've basically had a turnover of 6 starting quarterbacks since the beginning of the year. I like all 3 of the guys that you got there. I just think that I'm playing Tyler Boyd no matter what, especially if it's PPR. I'm playing him no matter what. I do think that John Ross in that game has a tougher matchup being on the outside. Tyler Boyd working underneath is going to get peppered with targets, so I like Tyler Boyd. Then it just comes down to, who do you feel safer with, Cooks or Gordon? And they're both boom or bust kind of. They're both going to get you 5 targets, and if they convert those, I don't think they're far off. It's real close, so I don't mind Gordon if you want to play him over Cooks. Rodgers or Wentz? I'd probably go Rodgers. I mean, they're both at home. I'd probably go Rodgers since he has all his weapons. And Adams is due to break out. Paul, I'm glad you showed up. I mean, we only got like 15 minutes left on this channel. I love it. We've been real active this morning. That's awesome. We do this every Sunday. For those of you, if you're new over on YouTube, we're live Wednesday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Brad Menendez, and then whoever we get as a third, we get on here and we discuss what happened the week before, what we think's going forward. Guys we're buying, selling, just, we have a different little thing every week. So tune in 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday nights, and then we drop a podcast Sunday night and Thursday morning. And then Sully drops his podcast 2 times throughout the week too, the Sully's 2 cents. So lots of content coming from Roto Heat. Plus the website you can see behind me, rotoheat.com. We've got articles and everything going up there. Sam says, thanks. PPR, Hollywood, John Brown, or Boyd. I'm going John Brown and Boyd just because of the weather in Kansas City. I would love Hollywood if that rain wasn't there, but I'll avoid that, and I like the other 2 options anyway. PPR flex, Gore, Diggs, or Aguilar. Jamil, this would be the classic, do I need a floor or do I need the upside? Again, I said the Vikings, this could be a week where they throw the ball 10 times because they're playing against Oakland, and I don't know that Oakland's going to score on them. So they might throw the ball 10 times again like they did in week 1. So I'm probably avoiding Diggs for floor and ceiling just because of that. He could have 2 touchdowns, though. Gore is going to get the touches. He's going to get close to, 16 to 20. He's going to probably put up 12 to 16 points unless he happens to fall into the end zone multiple times. But he would be the safe pick, in my opinion. Aguilar would be the other option if you need, a guy that might catch 9 passes for 80 yards and a touchdown. Joseph says, do you got any tight end waivers? I drafted 1 tight end in Hunter Henry, so I kind of shot myself in the foot. Noah Fant is an option. Burton is somebody that you can go out and get cheap. If you're looking for, Vernon Davis probably has, it sounds like 3 to 4 weeks of starting for Washington. So he's an option. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here. I know Hayden Hurst was rumored to be offered in a trade for Jalen Ramsey. So if they move him, he could be an option. Jordan Akins for Houston. Boyd or Mixon for PPR? S. Cotter asks. Boyd for me. Mixon, I don't know. Maybe I'm too hard on the situation, but I just can't put him in a lineup right now. Between him being injured and that Cincy line, like, I don't know if you watched the game Thursday night with Fournette, like, he had no chance whatsoever. Luckily, he broke off one big run, but it's the same thing for Mixon right now. Kirk Cousins or Jacoby Brissett, it's easily Brissett for me because Kirk Cousins might not throw the ball but 10 times. Yeah, Disley's an option for sure. I would feel fine throwing him in there. You could also stream, Joseph, you could also stream anybody playing against the Cardinals. Going forward, the Cardinals have been so bad against the tight end. John Brown or Edelman. I probably go Edelman. Dale, I don't want to ignore you, but we already had some Antonio Brown conversation. Everybody gets fired up when we talk about him. Not surprised at all that he got cut, though. Not a problem, S. Cotter. I appreciate you taking time to stop by and watch the channel. Carson Wentz or Josh Allen? I'm starting Josh Allen myself. I like Josh Allen a lot as a fantasy option. Carlos Hyde or Darwin Thompson? Have we got any news? Solely, I just seen you pop in here. Do we have any more news? Probably not yet. I'm always starting Thompson if McCoy is out. Yeah, Brissett's fine, and like I said, like Cousins might only throw 10 times today. Brissett has been playing great. I have no problem with starting him for fantasy at all. This is for my dad. Start Mahomes in the rain or Rivers. I feel like you're setting me up to fail. Because if I say start Mahomes, like you probably should, and it gets messy and he doesn't score very many fantasy points in the rain, I lose. If I tell you not to start Mahomes and to start Rivers, and then Mahomes throws for 3 touchdowns like he does every week, even though it's raining and pouring, then I lose. Honestly, I don't know that it matters. I don't know that Mahomes is even human. So you're probably starting Mahomes, but it could end badly if it keeps pouring in that game. So there's a disclaimer there for sure. Yeah, Hilton's questionable, but I mean, look at who your options are, right? So Minnesota at home versus Oakland. Oakland, that first game was an aberration. It's not what we're going to see from Oakland every day. There was 0 pressure on Carr. Minnesota's going to put pressure on them. Oakland is going to score 3 to 10 points probably, and Minnesota is probably going to just run the ball a ton. So I'll take Brissett throwing at anybody 25 to 30 times against the against Atlanta, who's going to put up points, rather than a guy that might throw. I mean, he's probably throwing a max 20 times. He might throw for 3 touchdowns in that, but I would rather bet on Brissett getting more action in that position. Paul, he He's definitely not a must play because there's so many good running backs on this slate in DFS, but Michel's definitely in play. I think he was in play. I don't think James White missing or not, and that's what I was talking earlier with Sully. I don't think that White missing changes his role a lot. I think it changes Rex Burkhead's role a lot. You know, they're big favorites. Michel was going to get the touches either way. What happens is Rex Burkhead's more in play for, you know, having an 8 to 10 reception day than he was this morning before we got the James White news. All right, guys, we have about 10 minutes before I move over to the VIP chat. If you have any more questions, drop them in there. No matter what platform you're watching on, we are on Twitch, we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook. I appreciate everybody stopping by. We appreciate everybody that reads our articles. We appreciate everybody that watches our YouTube videos, and we appreciate everybody in our communities. Whether you follow us on Twitter, all the writers have their individual Roto Heat Twitter handles you can find. So, you know, I'm Roto Heat Rick on there, Roto Heat Sully, Roto Heat Craig, Roto Heat Brad, everybody over on Twitter. And then we appreciate everybody that checks out the live streams, no matter where you're watching. If you want to join in on the fun in Discord, rotoheat.com/Discord will get you into our Discord server. We have a ton of great content going on over there. Let me see if I can capture this so I can show some of you that are not in Discord. I don't know if it will work. It is not capturing my Discord chat, probably for privacy reasons. It was worth a shot. Boyd, DJ Moore, or DK? Contreras, you can only play one? Having an argument with my guillotine owner, Shady or Breda, I'd probably go Breda. What is my explanation behind starting Brandon Cooks? He's been very boomer bust, being a wide receiver 3. Josh Gordon's going to be kind of boomer bust. Josh Gordon doesn't just automatically get, 5 more targets because Antonio Brown's gone. Edelman probably gets those. Boyd, DJ Moore, or DK, if I'm playing one, if I need the high floor, I'm going with Boyd. If I am looking at ceiling, I probably go DJ Moore. That's how I break it down all the time, is I look at my roster, I look at my opponent's roster, and I try to figure out where I stack up. Do I need to have a guy break out and help take me over the top because I like his roster better? Or do I feel like I match up pretty good and then I go with the floor so that I don't, put a goose egg up on the board. Emmanuel Sanders, Michael, he says Mark Ingram or Emmanuel Sanders, PPR flex. I'm going Emmanuel Sanders. The dude has seen the most end zone targets out of everybody so far. Two Visions asks, what about DST? Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, or Bucks, week 3 only. I think all are fine. I probably lean towards Seahawks in that scenario. Should I fade Mac for Metcalf as a flex? Metcalf gets Marshawn Lattimore. I don't love it. I'm playing Mac if he's active. Mac versus... Okay, we always want to play running backs that are getting the touches versus Atlanta. Until they prove us otherwise, we want to play running backs versus Atlanta. Also, Marlon Mack is running a lot of routes. He just hasn't had the targets on them yet. That's going to be positive regression there, and he's going to get some receptions. Sammy Watkins or Julian Edelman, that's the same thing I was just talking about with floor versus upside. If you need the floor in the safe play, then it's Edelman. If you need the high upside, then it's Watkins, but you got to watch that rain in Kansas City. Right now it's coming down big time. All right, guys, we got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and then I'm switching over to the VIP room on Facebook. That is for our subscribers, $2.99 a month or $29.99 for the year. We do ADP in the off season. We were actually trying to do it throughout the season, but MFL is a pain in my ass. And I don't want to start up. We have 60 different people that help get our ADP mock drafts, done. And I don't feel like making 5 different drafts on a different platform and resetting them and moving people in and out. DJ Moore, Mecole Hardman, or DK. DJ Moore for me. I love that Arizona Carolina game. People are worried that that Cam Newton is out, and I'm not. Like, he was playing very bad. Kyle Allen is an upgrade to what Cam was doing so far this year. Now, he's not an upgrade to a healthy Cam Newton, so I want to make that clear. But Cam Newton looked really bad. And he has missed DJ Moore and Samuel a ton. Michael on Facebook says Carson Wentz or Kyler Murray. I'm fine with either. Kyler Murray's thrown for 300 yards in both of his games. There's going to be more touchdowns. He hasn't had really good matchups, so I like Kyler Murray a lot. I completely agree, Rob. I completely agree. If you have Panthers, it's kind of like having Giants players. You were very, very happy that the last week's starter was not named the starter this week. Frank Gore or David Montgomery? David Montgomery for me. Frank Gore's going to plot his way to some yards, but I think his ceiling's limited. What was I doing? I was doing something. I was picked up my phone for a reason. Okay, any last second questions here that I'm going to get everything around? Like I said, if you want to join in on Sundays in the VIP chat, I actually show some of the process I'm going for DFS that week. We talk a lot more DFS on that one. Obviously, we have the inactives. Oh, let's check out that weather real quick. I did say we would do that. So, weather. We got to check 2 games. Okay, we've got Kansas City game. There's a lot of bad weather there. So let's check out this hourly forecast. And then we've got a Green Bay game to check, so let me go ahead and pop this bad boy up there. Okay, right now it is raining. River flood warning. Hourly. Okay, game starts at 1. Isolated thunderstorms. By 2, we've got heavy thunderstorms. 65%. This is down. This is down. Last night when I looked, it was like 80%. So over the next 2 hours, we got to keep an eye on this right here. 65%. You guys might not be able to see that very well. Let me grow that. Yeah, it's supposed to be heavy thunderstorms, but 65% is lower than when I looked at it last night. So that's better news for that game. Still not great news. Okay, so now Green Bay game. Let's check that out. Titty Boy McGee, I missed you Wednesday night, buddy. We looked for you on here and you weren't there. Okay, so we got a 70% chance from 1 to 3 o'clock. 70 to 85% chance, then it drops to 60. So we got better than 50-50 for a bunch of rain and thunderstorms. In this game also, wind is a lot less than it was in the Kansas City game. Kansas City was, 12, 10, 11, 12 miles an hour. So both games could be very, very messy there. Titty Boy McGee, you came out right at the end. We are getting ready to check out. I got to move over to the VIP group. Would I drop Baltimore defense for the Bills this week? Have no one else to drop? I would probably just stick with Baltimore. It doesn't really matter. I am not, I'll stream defenses. I don't really care. It's such a volatile position. Baltimore's playing the Chiefs, but if that game's messy, anybody can turn the ball over. Anybody could fumble. There could be a return for a touchdown on a fumble. I don't know. I have defense in none of my leagues. The only reason why I know anything about defense is for DFS purposes. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Unless you're over in the VIP group on Facebook, I'm moving over to there. I'll be up there in 5 minutes or so. And then before next week, make sure you get subscribed to the website, and we will get you in that VIP group. So every Sunday I go till 12:15, 12:30 over there, just enough, give myself enough time to get my lineups solidified before the end. But I appreciate everybody stopping out.